the second crash. Oh my god, I have to... This is the second time this game has crashed today alone. Whatever update they released, they need to take it back. Of course.
This is ready to collapse.
I did so well the first time.
What's happening?
Be careful. Let's see if it crashes again.
Acknowledge psychological trauma. Break through the barriers of self-deceit. Temper manic behavior. Is this it? Is this the contract? Jeremy. How much pain and suffering you could have prevented.
Emily? What are you doing?
Detective, how is your investigation going?
Well, I still have no clue where Jeremy is, but I think I know why he's hiding. This place is full of lunatics planning to perform some kind of ritual tonight.
Well, that sounds ridiculous. Or rather would have just a day ago.
It gets worse. I have reason to believe they killed anyone who didn't want to go along with the plan.
Detective, have you encountered any monsters tonight?
I just told you, I think they killed people. Beauregard, the author, Perosi, the singer, Mr. Waits, the clerk, Mr. Chance, the gardener, they're all missing.
No, I mean, have you fired your gun tonight?
Of course not. They wouldn't just kill outsiders like that. It would bring too much attention. But you should keep your eyes open.
So you haven't seen anything strange? Been anywhere else?
What are you trying to tell me, Emily? Are you in some kind of danger? Let me drive you back to New Orleans. I think I have enough. You know, at least get the police to take a look at this case.
No, I'm fine. Thank you, Detective.
I'll find your uncle, Miss Harwood. Just stay out of trouble.
Oh. Darkman's contract. Interesting. Ah, here we are. Acknowledge psychological trauma. Break through the barriers of self-deceit. Temper manic behavior. 913. Do you think that goes to the safe that we've been looking at? And I see Jeremy's name on it. Then this says, medicine has failed me. Nothing can be done to dispel the hardwood curse. Only the sacrificial dagger may release the despair from Jacob's eye. Yet doing so would be the doom of Derceto. Let this curse of mine be a weapon for once. I accept your demands, O crawling chaos. Build your prison around this godforsaken hospital. Okay, so if I had to guess... Jacob's Eye, one thing that Jeremy tends to do a lot of. He's always, like, clutching his head, or... before I go in there, let's save, make a brand new one.
Alright, I'm going, man.
Okay, be careful. So from here,
It's getting rough up there.
pull out the map, which I believe is... Batiste rooms, Perosi's room, Jeremy's room, sitting room. All those are pink, which means explored, but they're not completed. Give me 1 second. Yep. Hello. Okay, so can I... is it locked again? I really need to put tape on my nipples or something. My cat, she keeps doing the biscuit thing, and for some odd reason, she is obsessed with...
If we can just get rid of Jeremy, everything will go back to normal.
That reminds me. I saw Miss Emily earlier. You remember her? You know she's Jeremy's niece.
She's looking for him.
That's right. She's helping us. In her own way.
As long as she don't stand in the way of the mother of 1,000 young.
I don't think she knows or cares about that. She just helped Jeremy. I've been more worried about that Detective Carmen fella. He's been snooping around asking all kinds of questions.
God, it hurts.
I wish you would stop doing that. Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Okay. So... Oops.
The orderlies, Baptiste and Lottie, were back at Derceto as well, like pieces of Emily's past haunting her. She couldn't figure out if they were on her side or not. And what was Lottie suffering from?
Okay. So, from what I... Hold up. Yeah. See, with everything else right here that says forbidden knowledge unlocks a hidden memory in the attic. Oh, so they tell you what they do. Secret objective. Great Depression. Can I... Secret objective. So... Okay. don't want to be seen just yet. Should we go to the dining room? No, that'll take us near Lottie's room and everything. We want to go to the clerk's office. I'm seeing a lot of locked doors where there weren't before. And that's somewhat bothering me. The rot is really spreading. I wouldn't be surprised if I got attacked in this house again. Okay. So from here...
What is going on here?
This just takes me into Lottie's room, which still shows explored but doesn't show complete. Preparation for St. John's.
We must have faith that Jeremy's pact with the Dark Man is a bluff. If we are lucky, our visitors will find him and prove it's all nonsense before night falls. What is true is our attempt to call on her. Too many things have happened for this evening to be in vain. Think of Jack and Cassandra, even Perosi, whose circumstances I can't understand. Grace is our goat without horns. She knows it and will play the role. You must talk to your brother, Batiste. I worry that he will fail us. Mrs. Thompson.
So is this now complete? Yeah, Lottie's room is now complete. The water closet apparently still has something though. But is it the mirror? Broken spectacles. Death of the author. So that's now complete. Looks like the library and the small parlor also has something. Lunacy in the Astarte Artist Colony.
Lunacy in the Astarte Artist Colony. A monograph by Yael Klein. In early 1909, the old Derceto plantation outside of New Orleans was turned into an artist's colony. 3 famous European artists rented the house and the surrounding land from the owner, the Ledoux family. The colony was chiefly run by Sebastian Cortez, who was playfully dubbed the captain by his collaborators, William Arges and Heinrich Kassel. The colony existed for 6 years, until one day all 12 members disappeared without a trace. It is widely believed that their disappearance is connected to the disastrous hurricane that passed through on September 29, 1915, but nothing truly supports this claim. What is known is their frequent participation in New Orleans nightlife, their love for hosting parties, and their elaborate contributions to the Mardi Gras parades as the Pirates of Pontchartrain. Accounts of their lifestyle can be found in almost every gossip column. It can effectively be summed up as carefree and bohemian. In late June 1909, the name Astarte first appeared in the newspapers. Cortez said the name came to him as he was painting. There is never any claim to knowing about the ancient Phoenician fertility goddess with the same name before this time. His fellow colonist Heinrich Kassel did know, because he later produced sculptures that show clear references to ancient idols of the goddess. It's impossible to know for sure how this name suddenly made an appearance, but it is interesting because of Derceto's history. Even the name Derceto is the Greek name of a Syrian fertility goddess. In the case of naming the plantation, Derceto was certainly not an accident. We know that Elijah Pickford intended to build a temple for his cult, for he had distributed pamphlets 2 years prior to the purchase of the land, advertising his intentions. His followers were estimated to be almost 100 men and women, mostly sailors, Maroons, and Cajuns, when the plantation was built. To outsiders, Derceto registered as an ordinary slave plantation, which enabled Pickford and his flock to remain hidden for decades. The official story is that the cult lasted until 1862, when the Union Army came and burned down the plantation and scattered all who lived there. Following the Civil War, new people started to congregate in the ruins of Derceto to invent a new fertility goddess, the Shub Niggurath. As much as Derceto is a particular name to have heard of, it's not entirely uncommon among the learned. Astarte is equally known and could have been subconsciously chosen by well-read artists. Shub Niggurath is, on the other hand, very uncommon. Almost impossible that anyone in Louisiana would have heard that name. The name is referenced only in rare books like Urnausprechlichen Kulten and the Necronomicon, and is believed to be a bastardization of Arabic words meaning pertaining to the Dark Young. The few paragraphs printed on the goddess are so upsetting that no one in their right mind would want to build a religion resting on such qualities. The Shub Niggurath cult was hard to get rid of, but it is believed that despite the police jailing and killing several cultists over the years, the main culprit in the cult's demise is the cult itself, which seems to line up with every instance of cult activity on Derceto's grounds. When Captain J.W. Norton of the Union Army arrived, he described the people at Derceto as malnourished and maniacal. As much as the army tried to save them, they fought back with fervor, as if nothing was going to stop them from slowly destroying themselves. While the disappearance of the Astarte Artis colony remains a mystery, the recurring motif seems to suggest that their fate involved lunacy and a hunger for self-sacrifice to that fertility goddess with 1,000 names.
And the reader of that sounded like Perosi, who was supposed to be looking into things for Jeremy. So what I'm hoping is, well, what I'm basically getting from this is the cult has once again come back, and they're basically the people of Derceto, which would explain the goat with no horns, because we have heard Grace bleating. And I know I said that weird. It's bleating, but I accidentally said bleeding. Opera playbill. Pirates of Pontchartrain. She said it so many times and I still can't say it. Okay. So that completes everything up here except for the treatment room. We've never been into Dr. Gray's office, I believe. And then the clerk's office. So that should be... this door is locked now?
Locked.
I don't want to go downstairs. Good God, I don't want to go downstairs. Don't make me, please. I have one bullet. Oh, that's locked too? Why are you guys locking everything? What have I done? Back upstairs? Okay, so that's locked, and supposedly Dr. Gray's apartment is locked. What?
I don't want to run into the orderlies right now. I should find another way. I think Dr. Gray is in there. Maybe I can go snoop around his office then.
He's in there with Jeremy from the sounds of it, because that voice sounded like whimpering. Batiste, you okay? Okay, so maybe through the conservatory? As much as I don't like being near that tree. I know, trees are supposed to be lovely and all of that, but this tree seems very wrong. Like, usually when I'm near it, I hear breathing. I don't like how the knots look like eyes. Okay, so this way? Or is that locked too? It's locked too. Keep our secrets.
Mrs. Thompson, I understand the last week has been busy. Under these circumstances, I find it important to remind you that Derceto's concerns are not a public matter, nor is it something that should upset you. Please continue your excellent work, and don't spend a thought on the death of Perosi, or, more importantly, the suicide of Cassandra Beauregard. They should mean nothing to you or the staff. I rely on your loyalty, and trust that your close kinship with the Tabois siblings will keep Derceto's secrets hidden. Dr. Gray.
Wait. Hold up. Where are all my other ones? Okay, I think it's the, should be chapter 1, right? No? Chapter 2 then? Lottie. Here we are, staff, patient, no, that's the directory. Patient files, here we go. Oh, the writer. That's why the name sounded familiar. So first Perosi and now the writer. It seems I should be able to get to the kitchen gardens from around here somewhere. I guess here. Why isn't this place on the map? Okay, thank you. Got me stressing for no reason. I think I got... that was the cat. It is so dark. Okay. So now I can get to his office, which is obviously where I'm supposed to go. And it looked like it's saved. So let's take the dumbass route. And go through here. Okay, thank you. Thank you. For that piece of the cactus finally registered as gone. So I guess the update fixed that. And I know I should just be thinking maybe there's more than one cat, but a crow just killed itself. Okay, where am I? Of course it's locked. Everything is locked. Reception. Reception. Disgrace. Evil as plain as the scar on his face. Deception and outrage.
Mr. Waits must have had a spare key to Dr. Gray's office, but where?
He came. Deception.
I don't know the combination. Wait, maybe I do.
Okay, not that way then.
It worked.
Dr. Gray's office key.
The last guest in the empty room suffered from severe maladaptation. I must write this down, because if I understand the condition sufficiently, it could make me deny this fact at a later date. And there is reason for me to think I may come to suffer the consequences from this dysfunction, as someone who came in contact with the guest seemed to adopt a new worldview in which everything was predetermined but broken. Upon accepting this worldview, some memories became unmanageable and later rejected. I do not know what this means. I cannot even remember the fate of the guest. I think they were simply misplaced one day and forgotten. Just like all documents pertaining to this guest, they have all been destroyed, or they never existed in the first place. Who wrote this? There has never been a guest in the empty room.
So maybe that means I should go to the empty room. Wait. There's something else in here? What is it? Have I missed something? I don't see anything. And stepping out will take me back to reception. I should probably... Wait. There's two ways to get to Dr. Gray's office, I see. One is from the clerk's office, and the other is to the treatment room. So we'll try and save here. And let's see what happens.
Here we are, Dr. Gray's office. Now let's see if we can find some answers.
Unlock that. The Flying Dutchman. Ah, when it makes you worse, forbidden knowledge.
What a terrible thing to recognize that your betterment was an illusion. That you are so infatuated by the virtue of struggling that despite all your hard work, you made no real efforts to ever become well. Or that the treatment becomes such an obsession that instead of letting your wounds heal over time, you tear at the flesh in the hope that it will heal better and faster. If only it would bleed in the way you want it. Do we ever become well? What do you think, Dr. Gray?
So that should be... Yeah, that's everything in the treatment room. The clerk's office is still lit up, though. Cassandra's things.
I have finished tidying up Miss Beauregard's belongings. I will leave it to you to contact her agent and have them collect her things. I found one of Grace's drawings she might want back, along with this key in her room, which I believe you've been looking for. Mrs. Thompson.
France. Key I... Ah, I know what that goes to. That goes to the globe that's near her room. Okay. The problem is... Okay, it wants me to go to Cassandra's room now. Perfect. Let's see what else we can find. Stairwell key. Perfect. And I have typed out letter.
Dearest Dr. Manzetti, I find myself in a losing battle with my patient. As I've disclosed in my previous letter, his delusions have him completely captured. It's bad enough that he is torturing himself with paranoia, but his madness turns out to be quite persuasive to others, effectively laying the ground for mass delusion. I am writing to you in hope that you can give me some guidance. Beyond my ambition to avoid devastating surgery on my patient, I have grown worried about my own defenses. The words of my patient are deranged, yet they often resonate with something primitive within me. I have tried photographing his brain with X-rays. It was surprisingly difficult to get good results. Dark blotches on the plates kept obscuring all details. My patient looked at the bad plates and cried out in terror, telling me the dark areas was the shadow of the worm eating him from inside. I could not see anything out of the ordinary. I hope this is a sign that my mind is not as receptive to the madness as I had feared. After further inquiry, my patient described the shadows inside his mind as some kind of chthonic monstrosity that wants to undermine his sanctuary. This is clearly a reference to a place he calls Teroea, a sort of library or convent that works as a psychological haven. With this imaginary haven threatened by this Chthonian, he has now constructed another, less pleasant hiding spot. Lately, he has been bringing up a metaphor of a steamboat that has run aground, that he feels like he needs to start the engines and reverse, but he is afraid that the hole in the hull would cause the whole ship to sink. I've been watching him turn this metaphor into reality for the last week. He knows it's made up, but he is doubling down, trying to make it a real memory. I feel certain that this is my chance to break through the barriers of his self-deceit.
And that sounds like the Dark Man's... Wait, that's 2 objectives now. And Dr. Gray's office is still lit up for some reason. What else is here? Did I miss something? Or maybe I come back as Carnby? Could that be it? I'm already bothered by the fact it still shows like a puzzle piece right here, even though I've opened the safe and collected the good goods. So I am just going to assume that those are Carnby related. I need to make my way back to the stairwell. The fact that it saves is just... Ruth McCarby's in the empty room. I want to check the empty room. But I don't think I'm able to. It looks like I can, though. Who knows? Maybe Ruth is even in her room. Is it locked? Yeah, it's gonna be locked. Crap. Okay. So it's narrowed down to forcing me to where it wants to go. I'm still waiting for that bear to come to life. I don't like any of those. Okay, so the sitting room in Cassandra's room, Jeremy's room, and Batiste's room now has something new. So Jeremy's room is right here. I've already opened so much of his stuff. Ah, a letter.
Detective Comby, I'm terribly sorry that my niece has pulled you into this mess. Please, with all my blessings, take her away from this cursed place. I have destroyed that eater of worlds and locked it away in the attic and retreated to a place of hiding. Tell Emily I'm safe. Tell her all the lies you can think of to make her listen. Take her back to New Orleans. Sincerely, Jeremy.
Okay. Is that... yeah, that completes his room. Now we go to Batiste's room and see what's new in there. The way the light is filtering through those curtains, though. Trust me.
Brother, I need you to trust me. This is the most important moment in our family's history. I know you have doubts and that the terrible Mama Loa told you lies. I would never betray you. I promise. Lottie.
Batiste's room is done now. Okay, Grace's room is that way too. Can I... The stairwell is probably going to be the penultimate area. Oh.
Hey, little lady, how's your evening been going?
Ups and downs, I suppose.
I hear that. We all live in the life of an elevator operator.
Are you alright, sweetie?
Do you want to see my mask, miss? I'm making it for St. John's.
How did you... Is that supposed to be my... Ow!
What the fuck?
You should learn your place, little girl.
Why are you acting this way? What did I ever do to you? Grace! Grace!
Okay, so Grace has... Wait, why'd the Jack-in-the-Box return? If I already had it. You should learn your place, young lady. The fuck? I wonder if this is a sign that Grace is older than she appears to be. Or that she's helping me in her own way. Okay.
I'll just borrow these.
Kick him while you're at it.
At least he's breathing. I'll just let him sleep it off.
No, let's stomp his head. Okay.
There's something missing.
Not anymore. Map of the Caribbean. Okay, so we have one left, and that's the mask. But it seems to be the mask that Grace took with her? Cassandra's room is right here. Jesus, everything's gone. The medicine bottles are still here, though? Ah, the typewriter and wheelchair.
Jeremy knew that the only one who could help him now was the guest in room number 3. The room seemed to have been empty for so long. But that wasn't allowed to be true. The story needed to be different, to include something from the outside, He would bring the guest back to room 3 and show them what was in that safe. 913. But those were not the right numbers. That was the combination for the safe in the clerk's office.
Movie script. Death of the author.
What did you expect from them? You created too much. There wasn't any room to breathe. Your reification rendered all possible worlds void. You took everything they could imagine, constrained it into something that you didn't even care about. Or maybe you did. Perhaps you cared the most of all. Maybe you tried to save them from themselves, and that is why you had to die.
So, that sounded like, what's his name, Juan? Who is Jeremy's, comfort character from a book he read? Which pretty much confirms that people that were helping him in one way or another were killed. I already mentioned Perosi, but now Cassandra. Now I can go downstairs. I have the first floor key. Okay, so yeah. It still shows it as pink. It's driving me crazy. Wait. That's the empty room. He's telling me to go in the empty room. So, he's affected their memory.
Sometimes, I think this place makes me worse. That Derceto might be my grave. A coffin made of ostentatious architecture. A Taj Mahal for the drunken depressed. There's something about Derceto. Something about Dr. Gray. Like we all pretend that we're here to get better. When in fact we're here to be forgotten.
So he's using the whole staying drunk thing as a means not to come into contact with what's actually going on. He's Grace's caretaker, who's supposed to make sure nothing happens to her since she is the goat without horns. goats are often sacrifices. And since we just uncovered documents talking about how this particular cult seems to be obsessed with sacrifice, just going to say that they are planning to kill Grace. Maybe Grace acting out is her way of trying to bring your attention to things. When she acts out, we find things that let us go to the next area. The syringe being part of forbidden knowledge that we needed for the shotgun, right? And then we went to the next area from there. Every time we meet her, it's like she gives us a means to get another puzzle piece. Maybe this is her way of trying not to die? So, goat without horns, this is her specific thing. Secret objective. And we found out that there's more than just the ending that you can get in this game. There's multiple. So, goat without horns must be Grace's specific ending. All the world's a stage. Does that have something to do with Jeremy? Because if death of the author is Cassandra's death, wait, only by distracting the bull with golden sail was Gilgamesh able to pierce an eye with the spear, which bled the bull to death. Okay. Dying with dignity. I want to see that war photo. But now that I think about it, that's what Jeremy's been doing this whole time. He doesn't want anyone to see him while he's like this. He wants to complete the contract with the Dark Man, which is his death. He wants to die with dignity. Lost children. Okay. Prisoner of Ice. I don't think I can do that yet. The Crescent City. The Heartwood Curse. Unspeakable Cult. When it makes you worse. Did we look at this one? I mean, listen to this one? Hold up.
What a terrible thing to recognize that your betterment was in a...
Yeah, we did. Okay. So, we only have 9 more to find. Huh. What's Ruth's whole thing with this, though? Henry Cassell's...
Castle built the Zoetrope as an exercise in animation. He is very interested in moving pictures, and has even ordered an aeroscope camera for the colony. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of phantasmagoria he will produce. For now, his Zoetrope entertains me greatly. It's not the little man passing his head, well, quite humorous. It's the spell of that flickering light as it rotates. I swear, it takes me back to my childhood in a most profound way.
The picture of... Oh, it's the pirates. So I can't do anything with Ruth's camera yet. Fuck. Okay. The lighting is actually nice. Okay, so... The empty room. It seems we didn't find everything in the food wine cellar. I'm trying to see if the stairwell is where Jeremy's big thing is, or if it's the empty room, because the empty room is